Hello and welcome to episode 241 of the Veeam Community Recap. And you know what? I cannot believe it. Maddie and I are both in normal circumstances, but there is a good reason. That reason is that this week is a U.S. holiday week, Thanksgiving. That's the one with the turkey, for those who don't know. And I'm taking some of the additional time off in addition to the holiday. So we are recording Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. But other than that, Maddie, how are you doing today?
Hello, Rick, and hello, community. Yeah, I was just mentioning a bit earlier that it feels like a couple of days ago we just recorded the recap. So yeah, it feels a bit weird to record on a Monday, but I guess we have to just adapt, and you have to enjoy your holidays because it's important in the US.
Yeah, well, honestly, Maddie, brother needs a break. I mean, I have had way too much travel. It has been super busy. I'm gonna chill for the week. I got one more trip the rest of the year. We'll surprise you on that. I guess it's next recap, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, we'll go from there. You might even be jealous on that one, but um, I don't know.
Now I need to know. Now I need to know.
Well, I'll be in Barcelona for HPE Discover, so I know you like your
Oh, I
Spain.
love Barcelona. Yes, you
Yes.
make me jealous now.
Yeah, indeed. And it's kind of funny. We're like, well, the only time we can do it next week is Monday, and we're like, I don't even know if we'll have enough content. But what's everyone think? Did we have enough content? Absolutely. Did we break the rule? No. But I'm ready to jump into it. Are you, Maddie?
I am ready to jump in, but yes, we could have even, just broken the rule if we
Oh wow,
wanted.
on a
We have
Monday.
enough content. The community is amazing as always.
Absolutely. Well, we are post launch and stuff, but true story. We are recording early 8:30. I mean, I'm not playing. We are recording early. So first up is a really interesting one from Sir Michael Paul, and he's going to talk about SQL Server 2025 with Veeam Data Platform, which is great because he has a lot of focus now on Veeam Data Cloud, but he's talking about Veeam Data Platform as well.
Yeah, totally. I wonder how much time Michael has between three kids and the job that is, I'm sure, it's a lot to do. I wonder if he still has time to put stuff in his blog. But I think this one proves that he's doing some good stuff still. So good to hear from him. Good to see him posting, and as you said, something different from the VDC. So that's fantastic. And yeah, as you said, it's Microsoft SQL Server 2025 has gone GA November 8th, but as Michael said, it's not yet officially validated for the Veeam data platform. So support is expected once Veeam completes QA testing. So let's see when that's going to happen. I don't know if you have any news on that, Rick, but we'll see, I guess. But yeah, Michael Paul focuses on what's changing in SQL Server 2025 Standard Edition. And he's going around the scalability limits that matter for anyone running Veeam on SQL Standard. And he's talking CPU sockets that remain capped at 4 sockets, CPU core limit increases from 24 to 32 cores. So then maximum RAM doubles from 128 gigabytes to 256 gigabytes. So that's great. And yeah, these improvements basically mean that environments running SQL standard, especially service provider or large Veeam data platform deployments, can expect a simultaneous workload capacity and, of course, a higher performance ceilings once support is validated. And yeah, we will need to wait for the official Veeam validation. But if you are running a large scale deployment, maybe it's already worth planning capacity updates, budget conversions already. So you know what you showed to your boss.
So what sticks out to me, first of all, thank you, Michael. What sticks out to me is the word value. The audience is getting a heck of a lot more value for standard edition because that was there's Express, there's standard, and there's data center or enterprise. I can't remember what the top one is called. And it's a huge jump in price from standard up, right? So the thought of you can have more cores, double the RAM, this is really giving you more value for standard. But probably my favorite one is actually in here is the Express edition. So true story, I believe even in 13, if you say yes to Veeam today, install, yes, yes, okay, and you choose the SQL database, by default, smaller routine deployments will have Express edition. But given that it now goes up to 50, that's really interesting. Okay, so having a limitation of 10 was really interesting. Now, I do think with the Veeam conversation directionally, Postgres database is the way to go with what we're doing with Veeam Data Platform. But there's still a lot of SQL out there. So this is really cool. And true story, Maddie, did you know that back in the day, I used to be a DBA? I used to do a lot of SQL. Yes, I did. Don't tell anybody. But basically, funny thing about our SQL support is actually we have SQL support, I think, all the way back to SQL 2014. We have a really progressive, broad, advanced, backwards, forwards looking approach. So stay tuned for our QA milestone on 2025.
Awesome.
All right. Next up is Michael Melter with recovery tokens with longer validity for agent and plugin backups, meaning greater than 24 hours. What caught your eye on this one, Maddie?
Yeah, as you said, Michael discusses the Veeam recovery tokens, which basically allow workload owners to restore their own backups securely without giving them full repository access. So by default, these tokens, as you said, expire after 24 hours, which usually works fine for a normal-sized restore. But the issue is going to appear when you are dealing with very large systems. And Michael gives us an example in here, a 10 terabyte SAP HANA database. So that's pretty big. And the restore from a data domain repository took longer than 24 hours. So the recovery token expired mid-operation. So that caused the restore to fail. I know you said you also have some similar example. So the GUI doesn't allow longer token timeouts, but good discovery from Michael in here. He said, PowerShell does allow longer token timeouts, and not only for agent backups, but also for enterprise plugins, despite the current documentation that says otherwise, apparently. So by using a few simple PowerShell commands, you can list all current recovery tokens, select the one you need, extend its expiration time, and then you can even create new tokens programmatically. So this gives admin complete control over token validity for large or long-running restore. And I think this is really a great share from Michael. It looks at a very real-world scenario that many organizations maybe don't think about until they're in the middle of a disaster recovery. And the default 24-hour token with limit works 99% of the time. But when you hit that 1%, it's probably usually your biggest and most critical system. So I think it's a really good one. Thank you, Michael, for sharing that with us.
Yeah, and kind of right here, this is the heart of it, because chances are if it's big, it's important. And then if it has to start over, we're talking a day. And that's really tricky. Now, going to hold my opinion on this, because if I think about kind of rehydration, when you talk about large data sets, this is kind of something that just is a consequence of that terrain. But nonetheless, if you have something big, this is a very good thing to get in front of. So thank you, Michael, for sharing.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of PowerShell, owner who won Blog of the Month, one of his previous posts, he's back and he's talking about PowerShell commands for a tape library. Now that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so he's back with tips and tricks PowerShell series, but because I really think he's gonna carry on with that, and I really like it. So good stuff in there, Onur. This is basically a practical introduction to tape libraries and how they integrate with Veeam backup and replication. And Onur starts by explaining what a tape library actually is: an automated system with tape drive slots, robotic arm that moves cartridges around. He highlights why tape is still relevant today. And he says it's inexpensive, first of all, energy efficient, great for long term retention, and ideal for creating offline air gapped backups. Then Onward walks us through how tape libraries work with Veeam, connect them through a tape server, let Veeam automatically detect drives and slots, create media pools, and build tape jobs for either backup to tape or file to tape workflows. And then he also gives us some scenarios where tape really is doing a good job, like meeting the 3-to-1 rule, providing long term compliance storage, giving strong ransomware protection, and handling huge data volumes. And at the end, Onur introduces a practical PowerShell example to monitor how many free tapes remain in a given media pool. And if a pool drops to 2 empty cartridges or fewer, the script sends an email alert, helping administrators avoid failed tape jobs due to lack of media. So, even though tape might feel like old school tech, Onur is doing a great job in showing why it's still absolutely essential in modern backup strategies, especially for air gapping and long term retention. And I know this tape subject has been discussed quite a bit at the community hub, and some people are pro, some people are against it. So let us know in the comments, what do you think?
So I have many thoughts here. Number one, everyone has an opinion on tape, and further, so many people have a story of tape letting them down. But there is no doubt tape media is an absolute modern marvel of engineering, how resilient it's become, how much in capacity. And you started with the benefits, Madi, about one I never thought of was energy efficient. It's way more energy efficient than a disk system for the capacity. That's a huge plus. The other thing I'll add is the acquisition cost and the portability cannot be beat for tape media. But the one thing I was thinking about is around the air gap. There's some of them, tape media 2mm eject, or maybe it's 3mm. One of them has one of the tape media, and I'm not quite sure which one it is, but there's one of them that has. That's funny. Veeam comes up first in my Google search.
Surprise.
Yeah, no, yes, and no at the same time. This one, like just for example, there's one of them that have an eject option that, no, this isn't it. Not a good example here. But basically, there's one of them that it does just like a little eject so that there's an actual air gap and you'd have to, as a human, push it back in. So that's actually a really interesting thing, especially if you think about worm, WORM tape media, write once, read many. As far as I know, Madi, and readers, watchers, viewers, let me know. I believe a worm tape media ejected from the library is the only storage specimen that's air gapped, offline, and immutable all at the same time.
Should we ask ChatGPT?
Yeah, I don't know of anything else that's all of those in one. So if I'm wrong, let me know.
Yeah.
But no, thank you, owner. That was really good stuff. And sorry to watch everyone have me fumble through the internet trying to find it, but show must go on.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is our Vanguard blog spotlight. And I've translated this one to English, which, by the way, we talk about all of our great members, all the modern browsers. You can do the translate to your own language or such, right? I just did that. This is Wolf Mateus from Brazil. This is delivered in Brazilian Portuguese. As you can see by the graphics here, it won't do that. The internet's not there yet. But it's funny. I've seen this acronym, LACP or LACP. I don't know how it's pronounced, honestly. But now I know what it is. And thanks to Wolf for that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we kind of also decided to go for blogs that are not in English, because usually, it's easier and you can just go fast and find some blogs in English from the Vanguards, from the Vanguard group. But today I was like, you know what? we are going to select a different language. So I found this one and I thought it's really interesting. So therefore, we are mentioning Mateus in this section. I think this is the first time we are doing that. So welcome to the VBS. But great article, really. As you said, he breaks down why link aggregation control protocol is such an important piece of a high performance backup environment. LACP lets you combine multiple physical network interfaces into one logical link, which boosts both throughput and resilience. And Mateus highlights that in backup environments, especially with solutions like Veeam that use multiple parallel data streams, the network is just as critical as the storage. So by using LACP on backup repositories and backup infrastructure, you can actually increase the speed, the spread traffic across multiple links, and keep operations running even if one network cable or port fails. So I think that's pretty important. And there is also a list of practical benefits that he's offering: higher combined bandwidth, link redundancy, simpler management, compatibility with major switch vendors. And Mateus finishes with some best practices like matching LACP modes, keeping ports consistent in speed and VLAN, and avoiding non-coordinated teaming modes that can cause packet loss. So really solid explanation of how LACP helps backup environments in here. Thank you very much, Mateus. And yeah, great to have you.
Yeah, Mateus, this is I feel almost embarrassed because I've used this almost my entire IT career, but I didn't really know exactly what specific standard it was based on, the IEEE 802.3 AD standard. I've just been at the mercy of some of the drivers that have done this. And this is right here. The biggest problems are when these are not done, right? So I definitely have been there where that is not the case. And then the second most popular thing I found out is this one. So it does get into some of the way the drivers implement it. But, this is a great write-up. Thank you so much, Mateus Wolf. All right, now we're going to go to special department news. We still got plenty of tabs. We're not going to stop till we reach the top. I just want to highlight that, we mentioned last week in the recap, and we mentioned in the recap video and the post that V13 is out, Veeam Data Platform. Wow. I have the upgrade center, and we can now upgrade, right? This was actually a little trick here. I had this ready to go months ahead. It hasn't been out for 7 months. We had it hidden for a while. But the upgrade path is now available. So the early availability, which was the first release of the Veeam software appliance, early release, was the first iteration, which just had the Veeam software appliance. Now you can get into upgrading existing environments. I want to highlight the most important part of that. There's really two paths right now. There's Veeam Backup and Replication version 13 on Windows, which is what people have known for all this time, now on 13. And then there's the relatively newer Veeam software appliance, okay? Now, you can't migrate open public from one to the other without recreating everything. And honestly, I don't recommend doing that. What I do recommend is if you're interested in the migration, hidden down here, really, really tiny. Where did I put it? I put it. There is a link. Let me just search for it. Migration. Yes, right here. We have a whole page where you can sign up. In fact, true story, Madi, one of the first migrations is actually going to be my home lab, because I'm almost positive I have a very dirty, messed up database. I have upgraded it since version 5, moved it, all the things you're not supposed to do. So we want to and I've got like one of everything. I've got file shares, I got VMware, Hyper-V, Mac, Linux agent, Windows agent, hardened repository. I want to try to, put the limits of this migration engine to the test. So we're going to do it for like some of our home labs, maybe some selected customers. And then, but this page right here, if you're interested in it, is where you can go sign up for it. But anyways, I just want to let everybody know it's there. And thank you, Madi, for having it sticky up at the top. I highly recommend giving this a read. I gave it an update last week. I'll probably have an update next week as well. And I'll have some videos as well, but always a popular post. And, I really enjoy doing that for everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Rick, for creating that for everyone. Everyone it seems like enjoys this type of upgrade center. Look at how many views you got already. So yeah,
Well, last year's did better. Let's see if I can beat last year's. I was like, whoa, that was great. It's almost as big as Derek's Broadcom post, but not really. But it's a goal. I can only hope. All right, next up in special department is from the Madalena-ness herself, the blog of the month for November. And I'm not logged in, so you can't see the results, but we have some early traction on these.
Oh yeah, it looks really good already. A lot of comments, a lot of people happy to be nominated. So please vote until next Monday. That's going to be December 1st. And let's make someone happy with the new badge, Blogger of the Month.
And when we were doing our pregame, I just wanted to bring everyone's attention to, we have dun, 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 dramatic music. We have the battle between LATAM and Germany, between Michael, Marcus, and Marcel and Lucas.
Marcel is actually from Slovakia. So.
Oh, okay. EMEA versus LATAM. Let's just go that way then.
And with Luis is a little bit tricky because he is originally from Chile, but he has been living in Spain for a very long time. So it can be a bit tricky.
Okay, transatlantic situation. Okay, so maybe it's not as clear cut as I thought, but I just looked at it and I was like, oh, interesting. But nonetheless, get your vote in.
It's more complex than we think, Rick.
You know what, Maddie? I want to give you a little +1 right here because, you can look at these names and know their story, where they live, where they're from, and first of all, know who's who, and recognize their face. Where I can barely remember just the text names, much less meet the folks and know who they are. You're very good at that, so thank you.
Awesome people. That I can tell you.
Yeah, only awesome people get up for Blogging of the Month. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of awesome people, we got 3 awesome people going to host the next Veeam 100 show on the 4th, including you.
Yes, absolutely. We are looking forward to this one. This is the last show of this year, and we are going to restart in February. We are going to take a break in January, but this is our festive episode. So for the festive episode of December, we decided to do like a very fun show with a fun project, and that's why we kind of selected Marcus, aka Dynamic Project. If you all remember, he created a world map showing where all Veeam 100 members are located based on data from the Veeam 100 directory and some from LinkedIn. And it's not just a pretty picture, it's really a practical tool. And, for the new Veeam 100 members or for anyone in the community, this really helps make the who's who more, real, and you can just discover details. So it's really easy to visualize, and really looking forward to discuss all about it. So just join us. It's going to be December 4th. And it's going to be your time, I think.
That's my time, and that would be 1600 CET, 1500 or 1700 your time.
Yes. So just go to this link and register and join us for this fun episode. We are going to also give some information on the new format. It's going to still be Veeam 100 show, but we are coming with a new format in 2026 just to innovate, as we were talking about innovation. And I think that's going to be super interesting, and everyone is going to be, willing to watch it. So
yeah, I think that'll be a fun one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Safiomo, aka Hollywood, and thank you, Madalena.
Hollywood.
Sorry, I'm trying. She's just not. She's not telling me to stop, but I'm just trying to make it stick. We'll see. All right, next up, just a reminder, up here at the top, we have the product updates module. Sorry, bad driving. The product updates module, and we have 2 entries from Kirsten to highlight. First one is Veeam 1.
Yeah, that's really cool because we just discussed about your upgrade center, and you know that V13 is out there. And thank you, Kirsten, for putting these two articles together with all the necessary links. So for anyone that is interested in finding more information, actually, Kirsten gave us a really good overview of the features, the new features of the product, and you have all the links to, you know, to go to the notes release and all the important pages where you can find more information on the product, on the release. So that's fantastic. Thank you, Kirsten, for doing that. And yeah, please follow product updates category, because we are always, as we are bringing, you know, a new version of the product, a new product, we always going to post it in here. So keep an eye on that.
Indeed. And sticking on that theme, Kirsten is also up with the same format for version 13, which I really like this. It's a nice quick read. I mean, the what's new is like 30 pages, but this is a nice quick read. A lot of new and improved capabilities here. So this should be a little bit longer, but same concept here. This is a good read going into the upgrade center and more. So thank you again, Kirsten. One more thing, we have a new thing called prompts.veamiq.com. So Veeam Intelligence, which actually was mentioned in both of Kirsten's posts here, I could just say like anything around malware, like what do I have that's prompts that I can start with, right? So if you search for some of these prompts you can do, here's one around evaluating your infrastructure like a cyber insurance person, right? And so you can actually get the Veeam Intelligence text that you can tweak. But the thought here is you can feed this into Veeam Intelligence, which is generative AI, and you can get some really interesting results, right? So I could also take a look at maybe I really hearing about my SQL Server environments, right? Do I have anything for SQL? No, not yet. This will get some more content over as it goes, but we could actually look into very good examples here. It's just getting started, so actually it's quite limited. But the thought here is that you could submit a prompt if you want as well. But I just want to highlight this is a new resource, so I want everyone to check it out. So that is
Yeah, this is great, Rick. I really like it. I didn't know about it. I just saw it when you sent me the link. So I think this can save a lot of time. But of course, as you said, there are still things that we have to do and to feed
it just
the
got
AI.
launched. I mean, there's probably only a few in there, and Ben Young on our team had shared it to our team, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. So we'll share that. But other than that,
Really
nothing's
cool.
going on.
Yeah, I told you the community has been super busy, even though we had a recap recording last week on Wednesday and today is Monday. The community never sleeps.
No.
It's amazing. I
And
love our
maybe, I
community.
don't know, maybe I'll try to do Monday again for next week before I fly to Barcelona.
Okay.
Maybe Monday's the day, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know what to say about that, Rick, but yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Well, Mondays are busier for, I think, both of us. There are a lot of the regular meetings are Mondays, so I think everybody kind of plays that way. So you still have the rest of the week to kind of act on a plan, that type of thing. So,
I
well,
like Wednesday for recording, but exceptions can be made.
yeah, there's exceptions and rules to be broken, but we'll find a way. That'll be next week's problem. But Madalena, thank you so much for curating the content.
Absolutely, my pleasure as always.
All right, everyone, we will figure something out for 242 next week. But until then, have a great weekend.